What is going on, guys? This is George. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about things you're going to need for your Pokemon TCG tournament. This can also be used for other tournaments as well, with a few minors and tweaks in it. But without further ado, let's get into it, starting with the most important thing out there. And it is so important that you're going to be lost without it. And that is a 60-card deck. Yes, your deck. As you see, these are not sleeved because I just brought a bunch of randos. But you are going to need 60 cards in order to participate in these tournaments. Speaking of your cards, another thing I highly recommend you bring is not only something I actually forgot to mention when I was going through my notes. You might going to want to bring a card list so you give it to the people running the tournament. So that way, they'll know that your cards are legal because there is a standard rule, which of right now, before April 5th, it's E to G block. But once April 5th passes of 2024, it'll be F to H block. So just be on the lookout, Pokemon players, for the rotation coming up. So not only do you need your deck, and you're going to need your card list, but also I recommend some sleeves. Yes, these are very important to have because it is in the official Pokemon rulebook. If you want to participate in a tournament, you need to have a sleeve. So the one I have here is Dragon Shield. I highly recommend these guys. There's also other good deck sleeves out there as well. I've mentioned in previous channels about the Pokemon ETB sleeves they give you. I said they were just for collecting purposes. However, I found out recently if you double sleeve those cards with the ETB sleeve and a clear sleeve, you should be okay with those. Without the double sleeving and you're still using the ETB sleeves, they're going to be really hard to shuffle and they can break very easily. So just be careful on that. That's going to be very, very important. I also, for the sleeves, I would recommend bringing a second pair of sleeves. So that way, when you're starting your games, you have clean sleeves and there's no detection of, oh, maybe it's maybe this card's marked because of the sleeve that they were using. So be on the lookout for that as well. I also recommend, as I try to get it out, is going to be your dice and other accessories. More importantly, as they almost fell, your dice for your damage counters and burn and poison markers. So during the Sword and Shield era of Pokemon, they kind of stayed away from special conditions. Like, you would maybe see them here and there, but they were never the main purpose for anyone's deck. Now, luckily for Scarlet and Violet, with Temporal Forces being released, they actually do have more cards that focus more on special conditions. So they're kind of coming back, just like for a while we had Lost Zone come back. And also with Temporal Forces, the Ace Spec cards are coming back. So I really like it how Pokemon will go from having a set out, don't see it for a while, and then bring it back. So that's always a cool thing to have. As you may have seen, by the way, if I sound off, I am still recovering from allergies that I was dealing with a couple days ago. So if I sound off, that's why. I just wanted to make this not only so I had some more videos out for you guys, but also I've been wanting to do this for a while. And there were actually some channels out there that were doing these. So I figured, you know what? I'll watch their stuff as well as go through some stuff that I know personally and try to make that work. So again, if I sound all congested, I'm sorry. But all of that also, I recommend one of these. This is a deck box. You're going to need a deck box to bring to your tournaments. This is an Ultimate Guard Flippin' Tray Xenoskins deck case. So what's cool about this, I actually have a few of these. They have your main opening for your deck, but also they have an upper spot here for your counters. So you can easily store. It says up to 100 cards. I don't know if that's 100 cards sleeved or unsleeved, but as we put the cards in the deck box here. Oh yeah, it's sleeved. It's sleeved. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, this is 60 cards. Yeah, 100 sleeved cards for this. Maybe because these deck boxes were mainly for things like Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! With big, with extra deck zones. Also, something I should mention as well. Like I said earlier, if you are going to bring your deck, that is it. Nothing else. You can bring one of these. This is a trade binder. You can bring one of these with you. I recommend bringing one of these with you. This is a trade binder. When you go to events like these, you're going to run into a lot of vendors, as well as people who are seeking trades for specific cards. These can hold a lot of great cards. I highly recommend sleeve them, as always. You don't have to bring a trade binder, but if you wanted to do some trades, I recommend. I would say bring one. I don't know if they allow buying the cards. I think they can only accept trading. I could be wrong on that, but that's as far as I'm aware of. But yeah, so we have all this stuff. So we got the deck, the sleeves, the box, the binder. A big thing I recommend too, if it is if they allow it, and if it's necessary, I recommend bottle of water and a snack, if it is permitted. Now there are places that don't allow you to bring outside food or drink, but if they allow it, bring something like that to where it doesn't spill. And also, if you're going to bring snacks, don't bring anything that's going to give where you can leave residue of it on your fingers. So like no cheesy snacks, no no cheesy snacks, no nothing messy. And as long as you follow that, that's great. Again, if they allow snacks, that I recommend bring a snack. So I would bring something like a granola bar or high energy snacks or trail mix, something like that. I would not recommend things like energy drinks or sodas or anything with like very high sugars. It helps your fatigue feel better throughout the day and less chances of headaches. If by the chance you do get a headache, I do believe they allow you to bring things like some kind of medicine. But for one, don't take my word completely on it. But also, there might be places where they say, no, you can't bring medicine. That's kind of really rare, but bring some with you just in case. What's also important to bring would be a notebook. Now, this is only needed if you're trying to record all of your time frames during each turn. And that way, if something doesn't seem right, you can alert a judge. It has to be a blank sheet when you start. So you can't take any information into the match that could help you. So no like cheat sheets. So every time you play a game, you need to have a brand new sheet. When you're starting a new game, rip it out, and then that way it's a clean slate and you're aware of your turns. And if you need to call upon a judge, You could say, hey, look, this is what I wrote down because I brought a notebook, and here's all the plays that we've done so far. So it can help kind of cause less issues for the players and the judge to understand what is going on. So highly recommend bring a notebook. Even if you want to, I know sometimes I do it for sportsmanship. You can just have each person sign afterwards, so that way, hey, we played fair. The next thing I recommend bringing for your Pokemon TCG event would be a phone charger. So, it's always important to bring a phone charger with you because you don't want a dead phone, especially if your service doesn't really work well within the building. But at least you can still try find a way to reach out to someone if need be. Like, let's say you were dropped off for the event, or you were trying to meet up with your friends after your rounds, and days at the tournaments are very, very long, and even with most modern regionals, they are posting pairings through apps, basically. So you always want to be on alert for that. And like I said, you don't want a dead phone. No one wants a dead phone, especially if you have to reach out to someone to like pick you up or whatever. One last thing I recommend. Now, this is just to wear, basically. You want to wear, obviously, clothing because it's legal. You need to wear clothing. But I recommend a pack light. So, you don't want to lug around a heavy backpack. So, honestly, if you just brought your deck, an extra pair of sleeves, a playmat, which a playmat's not recommended, but it's always fun to bring a playmat, as well as like a bottle of water or snacks, you should be fine. You don't want to walk around with like 50 different packs of sleeves. You don't want to walk around with 40 deck boxes. You don't want to walk around with 7 or 8 trade binders. Because even though Pokemon's more nice about it, there's still people who will try to rip you off and take stuff from you. And once it's theirs, you're kind of out of luck. And you lost not only your deck, but you lost a bit of money because you probably spent pretty good money on those cards. So it's recommended to always pack lightly. Also, like, just bring something like a hoodie or a zip-up sweater. That way, if the event's going to be boiling, you can take it off and there's your t-shirt. Or if it's freezing, you can put it back on. So that way you don't have to fear on being too hot or too cold. Because like no one likes that. No one likes to be too hot at an event. No one likes to be freezing at an event. Especially if you're going to be there for quite a while. And the last thing that is very important to bring when you go to your Pokemon TCG event is, and I can't believe I have to say this one. This is more ridiculous than mentioning about the deck. Bring your goddamn deodorant. You're going to be at a center running these events. Hundreds of people here. And you could be sweating. If that's the case, bring your stick of deodorant and put it on real quick if it feels that way. And it's the big game joke out there, you know, hey, gamers don't clean themselves. They don't wash their ass. They don't do any of this stuff. Shower before showing up. I don't care if you showered last week. I can't tell you how many times I have been to, and it's not just Pokemon, video game tournaments, conventions, wrestling shows, and there are just people out there that reek. It's disgusting. Y'all never heard of deodorant. Y'all never heard of taking a shower. Y'all never heard of shampoo, conditioner, body wash, deodorant. Like it is baffling on how many people think that, oh, I don't have to put this on, or oh, I put my deodorant on yesterday. No. Put on deodorant every damn day. Okay? Okay? You see this? See this? This is a stick of deodorant. You open it, and then you go to your armpits. All right, scrub a couple times here. And then you go on the other arm. Same thing. There you go. It's that simple. And yet, so many places I've been to where a lot of nerds are, it's baffling. It reeks. Like, there should literally be a put on deodorant or you're not allowed here shtick. Because, like, it's nasty. It's disgusting. I am playing Garbodor to defeat my opponent. I don't want my opponent to smell like a Garbodor. All right. But yes, those are the things I recommend bringing to your Pokemon event, from things for your decks, including the cards, the sleeves, the binders, play mats. I mentioned them a little bit, but play mats, deck box, and then bring things like notebooks, snacks, water, phone chargers, and deodorant. But I think that's going to cover it all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to also, very important as well, have fun. Don't be that person that starts yelling at people because of like a loss or the judge call didn't go your way or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, it's a trading card game. You're there for fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is George, and I'll see you guys later.